Hey, right guys, welcome back to part 2 of making the workbench. It's cold outside, it's dark outside, and I've got wood. I mean, literally, I've got wood. No bullshit, let's have it done. So, step 1 I want to take is to make a frame. Rectangle, square frame, depending on your size of your bench, and the frame is going to be slightly smaller than the actual worktop. The reason for that is I want to have overhanging from all 4 corners, or maybe just 2, edges, the worktop, so you can clamp something to it or put your vise to it, pillar drill, whatever. I want to have it overhanging, so the frame has got to be slightly smaller than your worktop. Just like that, the frame is ready. Right, so right now I've got my frame ready. I want to give it some legs. And unlike on my main bench, the main heavy duty bench, when I double them up, basically I use my whole construction is used with this timber. For the legs I glue them together and I screw them so the leg it's quite beefy, and it's very supportive and give it some weight. For this bench, because it's not a main working bench, it's more of maybe a bit of a shelf kind of thing, shelf bench, keep stuff on it, but not the main working area. I think single one is gonna be enough. Let's do this. And just like this, we've got our table base. Next, what I'm going to do is brace it right on the bottom, right there. Let's do this. And with our, what used to be a table, braced on the bottom, we got a good base, good frame, pretty solid for a workbench, which is a good thing because that's what I'm making. Right, let's carry on. Now with the frame in place, I want to brace it in the middle, on the top and on the bottom. Well, that was easy. Let's carry on. Now this is all braced, let's create the bottom shelf. Now that the bottom is done, let's do the same thing with the top working surface. Now that the worktop is nearly ready, it's a good idea to brace our bench wherever possible. That's more like it. And last but not least, I want to install the worktop of my choice. Right, that was way too easy. And there we go, guys. A few hours later, bench number 2 is completed. And again, I'm really happy with it. I may put a couple more braces, probably over here, some of the other bench, but other than that, we're good. Right, let me grab a piece of paper, all my receipts, and we talk money. We talk figures, how much this thing actually cost me. Let's have a look. Alright guys, both benches are now ready. Let's break it down in terms of price and how much I spent for the material, comparing that to the ready product I could have gotten just by, save myself a few hours of work. How much money I actually save? Did I save at all? Let's have a look. Right, so there are two pieces of timber, two types of timber I used, main use for the benches. The main construction and everything else really is made of these bad boys, 2.4 meter longs, and they exactly 38 mil by 89 millimeter, 2.4 meter long. That's the main construction, main frame, and everything else made out of it. The only pieces I use is these thinner ones, just for the bottom shelf, because they were slightly cheaper and they don't need to be as beef as this thing, and they are 98 mil by 20 mil, and they also come 2.4 meter long. Right, the main pieces, 2.4 meter long, they cost exactly £4.36. I got them in B&Q, why not? £4.36 for the big bench. I used 17 of those. That equals £74.12 exactly. For the big bench I used 4 of these bad boys at £3.50 each. That equals £14 exactly. And on top of that, I calculated between them two benches, I used probably £7 worth of screws per bench. The screws I've been using are both 5mm diameter by 70mm long for the main construction, and I use slightly thinner ones, which is 4mm in diameter and also 70mm long. Pack of 100 costs about £5. 2 packs, I used 200 screws across 2 benches, so it's about 100 screws per bench. So all in all, the big bench cost me exactly £95.12. Now when it comes to the smaller bench, the only difference is, obviously it's slightly thinner, a little bit longer, not as tall, but the main difference is I didn't double up legs. I use single piece of this for legs, and I'll tell you, it's more than strong enough. So for the smaller bench, I used 12 pieces of the main construction timber, 12 pieces by 4.36. That cost me £52.32 exactly. I also used 4 of these pieces for the bottom shelf at £3.50 each. That cost me £14. And again, I used about 100 screws on this bench, which equals to approximately £7 worth of screws. I didn't use any other hardware. I bought it, but don't need to use it. The worktop I had over here, that was a freebie. I had it laying around. It wasn't necessary to put it on. I just use it, why not? The only other thing I used on the big bench was a glue, a wooden glue. I also had it laying around, and I used not much at all, so I'm not counting this into a cost. So the small bench cost me exactly £73.32. Saying that, Both benches, the big bench cost me £95 and 12p, where the small one cost me £73 and 32p. Altogether, both benches and the material sums up to £180 and 32p. Now, I've been searching internet high and low to find a suitable bench to compare it to. I didn't want to buy super flimsy one, I didn't want to buy state of art, you know, curved and sculptured one. There's no point of that. I was looking for a solid bench, similar size, and the only thing close I found was 180 centimeters, which is pretty much exactly like the bench, the big bench I've got. The big bench is 180 by 75 depth and 110 tall, and the only thing I found closer to these dimensions and similar quality cost me £185 delivered. So I built two benches for under the price I would pay for one bench. Ready-made, ready product. Now you're asking, is it worth it in my time? Well, first of all, I enjoy doing that. I really had a fucking great time doing it. But the big bench, it was the first bench I was making. It was slightly thicker and everything was bigger on it. It took me about 6 to 7 hours probably of work. When the second bench, which is the smaller one over here, because I kind of already knew what I was doing and experience and everything set up from a previous one, it took me under 4 hours. Believe it or not, it took me under 4 hours. And I didn't really use any specific tools. All I had is my impact drill, just regular drill for pre-drilling stuff, and a jigsaw. That's all I had. Yes, things could have been done probably easier and better if I had a miter saw or the even circular saw blade. The cuts are much better, you know, straight, angled and quicker rather than using a jigsaw. Things can be a bit wobbly with a jigsaw, but I made it work. And I'm really not a woodworking specialist, not at all. I enjoy working with wood every now and again, but I've never been trained to do that. The only training I had is my great-grandfather who was a carpenter. That's about it. I never even met the guy, unfortunately. But yeah, it is possible to have it done, and I'm very happy with the results. The benches are exactly like I wanted them. They fit in my space when I have it allocated exactly. They for my specifications, they for my height, and they're gonna serve the purpose hopefully very well for years to come. The top I put on them, the shower boards. That was optional. Whether that's gonna work or not, I don't know. I had it laying around, I might as well use it. Ideally I will replace it with a mild steel later on to have it like really thick and durable top. Also become sort of a welding table a little bit for future projects. But that's later on when I get some more money, because these tops are quite expensive. That was free, I used it. Hopefully it's gonna work. That's it, guys. If you have any questions about these benches, how I made them done, you know, again, I'm not a role model. This is nothing I do all the time, and you guys, the specialists, woodworkers, probably laughing at me right now. It's not done properly. Well, maybe it's not, but I've done it myself. It's the really first time I'm attempted a project like this, and I think that I did the best I could. I'm very happy with the outcome. Will I do it again? Definitely. I don't see myself making benches for a living, definitely not. And I don't think I have any more room for any more benches, but I've got some leftovers from the timber and wood. I'll probably be making some shelves or some other attachments over here in the garage to maximize the little space I've got. Because obviously I want to try to keep everything off the floor, try to put it on the walls and make a good, semi-good job of it anyway. See how that goes. Alright guys, again, any questions, you let me know. Let me know what you think of these little benches. And other than that, have a beer, rock hard, and I'll see you very soon.